Now, at the risk of sounding un-Australian, I'm not a big fan of beer. After a hot day mowing the lawn, maybe, but for my taste, it's too bitter, too gassy, and frankly, just a little bit too blokey. So I'm throwing down the gauntlet to one of Brisbane's best beer connoisseurs. His challenge today is to prove to me that there are ales that are suited to the discerning and delicate palate of the fairer sex. All right, in translation for you blokey blokes, that's beers that Sheila's like. Matt Kierkegaard, or BeerMatt as he's better known, is a writer and a passionate advocate of ales, stouts and lagers. His aim is to brew a better understanding of craft beer with experiences like this beer appreciation class for women.
Now, Laurel, I hear you've had some unkind things to say about beer.
Maybe.
Now, look, everything you said is pretty much true. Beer for a long time has been about being cold, refreshing, and a little bit bitter, and not necessarily about flavour. And that's where craft breweries like Green Beacon are really starting to change that.
At Green Beacon Brewery in Tenerife, the theatre of crafting fine beer happens right behind the bar. How it all happens is a bit of a mystery to me, so Matt starts with the basic ingredients.
Grab some and put it in your hand, and then chew on them, and you'll see this is just barley that's been malted. But then depending on how they're roasted afterwards, you can start getting a whole range of different flavours. Just like sugar on a stove, if you roast a little bit, you'll start getting some toffee flavours, and so you'll start getting some toffee and almost some coffee coming out of that one.
Beer with hints of toffee or coffee? Who would have thought? Then there's Green Beacon's Wayfarer Ale, said to be reminiscent of a creamy pina colada. Now you're talking. Do we do what we do with wine and do the whole...
You can, absolutely, and just to give it a bit of a swirl, and that will unlock some of the compounds and help you to smell them. And this beer that we're trying is a very yeast-driven beer, so that means that the flavours that you're going to be picking up on the nose are the flavours that the yeast has created during the fermentation process.
Next stop on our beer safari is Scratch Bar at Milton. This little beer-loving dive on the Park Road strip has a revolving range of craft ales to enjoy, not to mention some intriguing decor. Even more curious is the food and beer match we're about to try. Forget beer and a juicy steak, how about beer and a creamy brie? Usually it's the wine and cheese. We've got beer and cheese. They do go together?
Absolutely, and it's wine's dirty little secret that wine and cheese don't always go as well together as they lead you to believe, whereas beer and cheese are just a beautiful match. But how about we tuck in and give it a try?
Oh, I think we will. This is lunch. I mean, we're getting to enjoy this. How did you fall into this incredible job?
I was a writer and I was writing about beer, and I found that when most people had drunk the mainstream lagers that we all know, and you're talking about beers that have these flavours or can go with cheese, it was like describing a sunset to somebody that has who's colourblind. They've got no frame of reference to bring to it. And what better way to explain it than to give it with beer in hand?
OK, I'm converted. Matt's tapped into my inner beer lover and he's ready to do the same for you. Check his website for dates and details of upcoming classes and beer trail experiences. BeerMatt is also available for personalised tours and functions.